This is Jürgen with Tech Talk, episode 12. And today we are currently waiting on our guest, Mr. Robert McCabe from the Vero Beach Chamber of Commerce and also running for councilman. And he'll be here sometime soon, I think. Yeah. What? Back more? Oh, good. Wonderful. Thank you. Anyway, again, Jürgen with ACT Computers. We're running Tech Talk every week. We're trying to have a guest on the show that talks about technology being used in their field of work or their interest, and where some interesting things going on. Next week we're actually going to have another guest on, and that's going to be Don's Import Auto Service. We'll be talking about technology being used in the field of car repair and how that's improving all the time. Again, sorry, it's a little hot here in the studio today. We are running out of air conditioning. We don't have any, and it's hot outside. So, excuse me, I'm a little sweaty today, but that's how it is. Anyway, so I guess while we wait on him, we can talk about some new technology news. We just had another Windows update coming about, Windows 11 update. Actually, we had people asking us in the past, and what do you recommend, Windows 11, Windows 10? Obviously, Windows 10 is the way to go. Windows 10 is still a lot more stable than Windows 11 is. We still see problems with it, as in driver support, things sometimes don't work. We also had some issues when it comes to, especially with printers. We just had a problem with spending almost 3 hours on it, trying to get an older HP printer to work on Windows 11. And without a major fix from Windows 11 and HP, it wouldn't work. Anyway, there he is, and we're still doing adjustments here. That's a terrible camera.
My apologies.
Hey, Bob. How are you?
Wavelength.
We're already live. How are you? Okay, I think we're good to go.
Mr. B, are you again? I see you moved my sign. No, you moved the other sign.
All right, we are good to go, I think. Wonderful. Careful there. It's treacherous down here. Very dangerous. Anyway.
Hi, Paul.
Oh, morning, Bob. How are you? You made it.
Very good.
Wonderful. Yeah. Sorry for the
Thank you
confusion.
very much.
But sorry for the confusion. But
No, it's not yours. It's my
11:30.
There was too much going on.
No problem.
A lot of last-minute stuff on the campaign. And stuff
Right.
At that point.
Good.
So, sorry.
Anyway, thanks for coming to my show. First time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. So today we're going to talk about two different things. First, we'll talk about the Chamber
I need
of...
that, don't I?
Yes.
It's very subtle. Thank you.
We're going to talk about, you are the president of the...
Vero Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, good. And we've been a member for a while. And
Yes, you have. Long time.
been doing great. So what's new with the chamber?
Just trying to keep our head above water, if you would. We went through the pandemic, and there were just an awful lot of activities that we do to kind of raise money and to get our names of our members out there and promote their businesses and so forth. And that all dried up, not all, but largely dried up during the pandemic and so forth. So we're just kind of still recovering from that. I'm really quite amazed at the number of new members that we're picking up these days and so forth. I think the economy and people's perception of the going economy is coming along. I think you're finding that in your business too, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, we've made quite a change since last year.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of improvements, and we see the benefit from it finally. So it's paying off.
Good.
Hard work is paying off, most of the time.
Yep. Because we get an awful lot of inquiries, people who just want to start their own business and so forth, and we kind of try to coach them through that a little bit, and we kind of use the SCORE organization, if you would, to kind of help with some of the basics on how to try to set it up. But I would think that as these people are looking to be entrepreneurs, I think in a sense we'd all like to be entrepreneurs,
Right. Yeah.
and you are one, but and so am I in the chamber and so forth. But as they do this, they really need a lot of hand-holding through the process in terms of how to set it up as a limited liability corporation. But the other thing that we're finding out is just to do business plans and that kind of stuff. and then the banking relationships. But now IT has become more and more important in everybody's business.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not just a simple Quicken or QuickBooks kind of
No, no,
stuff.
lots of things. Yeah.
That's just the tip of the iceberg as to what you need to manage. And if you don't have a website now, but all the younger people that are coming in and wanting to be entrepreneurs, they're pretty much aware of that and the technical facilities and the support that they need. So
Right. Yeah, yeah.
that's where you come in. And I think we recommend you guys
Oh, thank you much.
and Act Computers every chance we get. And I know
Thank
you
you.
know we send people your
I
way.
know you do.
So
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm very happy being a member there and a board member now, and being able to because I've been in the community for 30 years, Vero Beach, and
Vero Beach High School, no?
yeah, 94, class of 94, and it's been a while now.
You young people, I tell you.
I know, but anyway, being able to promote Vero Beach because we live in paradise here, and we want to make sure this place is nice, and especially with the Chamber of Commerce, I think the way this Chamber of Commerce can differentiate itself to all the other places is that we are more like an active Chamber of Commerce. We actually want to
To a lot of events to get people out.
engage,
Yep.
because we have a couple things coming up, I believe, right? Events.
We had to cut back on some of them, but we have regular lunch and learns that you've been a part of,
Right.
and for an educational thing on existing businesses and new businesses and so
Right.
forth, and then we have cocktails and commerce activities, which are really networking events, and
Right.
one of the last ones, a very successful one that you were participating in too, was at Marine Bank and Trust.
Oh yeah, that was very
And
good. Right.
those are very, very nice events, and we try to make sure everybody, all our members and guests, get a chance to say what they do, what their businesses are, and introduce themselves.
Right.
Because in a vibrant economy like we're coming into now, more and more so, it's very important to get your name out there. And
Oh, yeah,
I
of
think
course.
that's one of the things that, with your help on our board and everything else, that we can start to get everybody's opportunities out there and get more and so forth.
Right.
And your assistance with our tech stuff and all has been very, very much appreciated.
Thank you. Thanks so
And
much.
it's very timely. If we need help, you guys and your team are there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're right out there. And we also know the Vero Beach Chamber of Commerce. We're also at the Downtown Friday at our tent.
Yes.
We're there all the time. So,
Yep.
you're welcome to stop by and say hello. And
Yep. And thanks to you, we have a TV screen, if you would, with all of our members flashing across
Yeah,
it, and
yeah,
we put that up
right.
there and so forth. But again, things like the Downtown Fridays and all are just another chance for businesses to get their name
Right.
out there. And again, you're a very active participant with that. And we just would encourage our other members to come out and take advantage
Yeah.
of the fact that we have a tent there with
Yeah.
lights and TV screen and a chance to just shake hands and
you
stuff.
said all members are welcome to come to the stand, help out, and volunteer, and maybe bring out some of their goods and show them,
Yep.
and promote themselves.
And just walk
welcome.
around and enjoy it and
Okay,
so
maybe.
forth.
Very nice.
Things like Downtown Friday, I think, are just part of what really makes Vero so nice and
Right.
such a great thing. And then we have coffee with the mayor that you're a regular. You sponsored that, I think, a month
couple
ago,
times.
didn't you?
I think
A couple of
almost
times.
4
didn't you?
times now, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Coffee with the Mayor is.
Yeah, you were out
Really-
of town for the last
really
one. Your
great.
team put it on and so
I
forth.
don't know what I
but
just hear there now, but okay, that's gone.
yeah. But anyway, but those kind of events, I think, are what make Vero so special. It's kind of an interesting community in the sense that we're becoming more and more permanent year-round people. The cyclicality, seasonality here is moderating out a little bit and stuff. But
Yeah.
there still is a very nucleus of the town that comes out and supports all these things and stuff, and the different events that we have under the oaks that you're familiar with and stuff too.
Right.
So
I've noticed. You're right about being so seasonal. I remember, 15 years ago.
oh yeah,
When we were at the old location, in the middle of the summer, you could walk down the street and you don't have to worry about
yeah.
the car coming.
Don't use the analogy of shooting a gun.
No, not doing that. But you just walk down the street and there's no cars coming,
No.
and there's nothing going on, and it's just so quiet. And nowadays, so busy right now too. Actually,
Yeah,
it is busy.
still is. Yeah,
And right now,
picking up.
This is normally right now the height of being slow. Right now, this is it
Yeah.
until October when they all come back.
Yeah.
But
And I think the pandemic had something to do with that. I think a lot of people, when that hit a couple of years ago, they just didn't go north, and they were a lot safer here. And the other funny phenomenon I found was that a lot of the people up north that had kids and the kids weren't going to school because of the school closed downs, they sent the kids down to Grammy and Grampy.
Yeah.
So our pool at my condo and a lot of the other things around here, you found a lot of kids, high school and younger, middle school kids down here enjoying it. And, they got online, I guess, occasionally or
Right.
checked in, but they certainly were out there surfing.
Right. And Derby Chamber of Commerce, where are we located? Where are we at?
Oh, we're right there at the corner of 14th Avenue and Route 60 East, right in the heart of downtown. It's an incredibly perfect location for our activities. We are now clearly the visitor information center for Vero Beach now, and we give out free maps, and it's just
lots of stuff.
It's just down the street for Downtown Friday, where they close off the streets and stuff. So. That's a role that we're really going to try to expand, if you would, being more of the visitor center and all.
Right. And I think I have some plans also for next year. We're gonna offer you guys about using even more technology within the Chamber of Commerce.
We need that. We need that.
We just redid the website. Now using Facebook, I think quite often now the Facebook updates.
Yep.
And being active on the social media, because social media definitely works. Everybody.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Really
when I find out on my campaign, it's just very, very important to get the word out. It really is.
Right. So we're gonna have more stuff like that, and I think we should suggest more like classes, like you said, more like even hosting. Doing when we have something like events, stuff like that, streaming that live on the website or streaming that live on Facebook.
Absolutely,
so people can see
more and more
here,
people are doing that live streaming and so forth. So
especially if you have like a lunch and learn, we can have a live stream, and then because some people can't make it, they're too busy, they can look it up at night, watch it at night.
And the other thing that I'm sort of marveling at, the cost to do all of this is coming down as technology improves and the memory capacity of everything that's out there is it's economies of scale, pure and simple.
It's so cheap
technology.
Nowadays. I mean, we are amazed by that. I mean, I just found something. I like looking at old ads for computer stuff, equipment, and I looked at something from the late 1990s when we started. We started in '95, but this was like a 1998 ad for Radio Shack selling a Tandy 1000. And that thing was $3,500.
Without incredible,
yeah. Just the computer. The whole thing together with printer was like $5,000.
Oh, incredible,
And nowadays, I mean, you can buy a good computer for $700-800.
Yeah.
And it works perfectly fine.
The example I use, if I may, and that is that I think it was about 1982. I'll never forget, I had just bought a cell phone. Well, a cell phone with the battery and everything else was the size of a big briefcase. And you were carrying it around, and it weighed just a ton. But I'll never forget, I went out to visit one of our General Motors plants out in San Jose, California. And my buddy out there, he found real estate too expensive, so he lived on a boat where he shouldn't have in San Francisco Bay Yacht Club. And anyway, so we took his boat out under the San Francisco Bay Bridge, and just for fun, I was on my phone back to the office with this old cell phone.
Wow!
And now you compare it
little tiny
to
thing,
this, and the capacity and the remoteness of it is just for an old guy like me, the technology, it's just hard to keep up with. It really is.
I mean, for me too.
That's why we have you to help me keep up with it.
The technology and the cell phones now, they're so powerful. This is what you got in your pocket is more powerful than what we had 10 years ago.
Oh, incredible. The first computers. And I remember the real argument between, I think it was Amdahl and IBM at General Motors, and the whole concept of distributed processing. I think that's the term, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of places built these huge computer rooms with the false floors and the air conditioning and so forth. And I know one place built one and never used it.
Right.
Because the concept was go to distributed processing. So
we have to
the
take a small break,
power.
Actually. We have to take a small break in about 10 seconds.
Okay.
You keep on going. There's a little time on the screen. It just popped up finally.
Oh, very good. Keep me honest.
Yep. So we'll be right back with Robert McCabe.
ACT Computers is your local full-service computer center serving individuals and businesses since 1995. Our strong continuing commitment to quality products and professional service is truly reflected in our everyday work. We want our customers to be satisfied with their purchases to establish a very good, long-lasting customer relationship. The computer industry is becoming more and more crowded every day. With technology moving faster and faster, one important item seems to disappear: commitment to customer satisfaction. We personally answer all our phone calls during regular business hours. You will be talking to a very qualified technician, not a phone answering service or automated system. Our specialties include computer repair, virus removal, networking, 24-hour turnaround, custom-built computers, servers, backups, cloud computing, notebooks, netbooks, ultrabooks, troubleshooting, IP cameras and security, and our store is located at US 1, 1525 US 1, Vero Beach, Florida. Call 772-567-7888. That's 772-567-7888. At Computers, committed to our customers.
Hi, I'm a golf enthusiast, and I love Big Shots Golf.
Like that?
Oh, yeah, you want to?
Yeah, we'll talk. Because my dad
Yeah.
used to be in that too.
Cornell was...
And we're back on with Tech Talk with Jürgen Schwanitz with ACT Computers and Bob McCabe, right?
Bob.
Good morning.
Oh,
Again.
what's his name, Bob?
Yeah. Anyway, so we were just talking about, how things just changed with technology, and you saw that also having gigantic cell phones that were suitcase sizes.
And the weight was like 50 pounds. It was like, and you didn't want to check it as checked baggage, even before the 9/11/01.
Right.
So
And then back then too, because you mentioned you used to work for GM, correct?
General Motors, yeah.
General Motors for a long time.
31 years, 32 years almost.
Wow. And in Europe, you mentioned that to me, all over the place.
Oh, all over the place. Yeah, no, I had responsibility for different activities on 6 continents.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find an excuse to go to Antarctica, though. They didn't. We didn't have anything there.
But back then too, also the technology when it comes to servers and server rooms, you know, that GM used, and you saw that stuff was gigantic, you know.
My first actual, I was assistant director of a thing called, at Cornell University, called Public Affairs Data Services.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to put on electronically, if you would, put all of the 100,000 alumni and stuff. But what I had to work with was a whole floor just below me in the building was just all these card files of the IBM computer card files.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the same size as punch cards, but they didn't use them as punch cards.
Uh-huh.
They printed it out, and the name of the alumnus and
wow.
was just on the top of it. So my job at that point in time was to convert all of that to electronic files. But
Wow.
in just the oldest real kind of stuff and all, it was incredible. So, but we were successful in doing that. So.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff back then was more mechanical than anything.
Oh, absolutely. And it was the little old ladies who were updating the file downstairs. But I did actually find my first wife down there.
Wow, that paid off. Good.
Yeah. But it was interesting. And then in moving into GM as a finance guy, in the old days, the financial people, because it really kind of came out of payroll and that kind of stuff, were responsible for IT activities and so forth. Well, that really wasn't working out that well because for a bunch of reasons, personnel related. But that's when GM bought Hughes and EDS.
Mm-hmm.
EDS, Ross Perot's company and so forth. So watching the way they worked and how that really changed the whole approach to IT activities inside General Motors. And as we were talking just before the break, the concept of distributed processing also had a lot to play in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember my father was selling actually, server rooms in Europe, in Germany, to like the German train systems and stuff like that, and big insurance companies. You know, big giant rooms that were waterproof and fireproof to keep all your stuff safe. And nowadays, all that is gone. You don't need it anymore.
Well, I was just leaving Cornell. The engineering department decided they needed some big computers and that kind of stuff. So they built a new building. Well, on the top of the new building, they had the whole floor reserved for the mainframes.
Uh-huh.
And they had, the air conditioning and the false floors and everything else. Well, as it turned out, with distributed processing and so forth, they never ever used that room. They just converted it to
Donated it.
classrooms. Several years later, they said, "Well, we don't need it."
Yeah.
But what a change though in the IBM philosophy was they all wanted,
Right.
and they were doing that. But then I think Amdahl and some of the other ones came in and started really pushing. So IBM finally got caught up in that too.
Right.
So.
That's amazing to me how IBM changed around so much during these years too, whereas now basically IBM is more of a software company.
Yeah.
Hardware-wise, they don't really build that much anymore.
No.
They sold most of the stuff to Lenovo, which is a good brand now. We carry that actually, but
Yeah, no, that's what you sold me.
yeah.
Working out really well. Thank you.
But I always liked IBM, especially the ThinkPad lines. Always great.
Yeah.
Because the quality is good. It's good there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite brands in the past too was also Compaq, and sadly they went out of business. Oh,
Yeah.
that's gone. But
You ever heard of Burroughs?
yeah.
Go bye-bye too.
Yeah, that's gone too.
Their headquarters, I could see their headquarters from my office in Detroit. So.
Yeah, we also had old brands in Germany, were Siemens, Nixdorf.
Oh, yeah. Nixdorf. Oh, my God, I had a friend who worked for them.
Yeah. I remember working on having a computer like that, not owning it, but working on it a little bit.
Yeah.
But these are nice industrial machines, and they're all gone now too. But so anyway, we have a couple minutes left here. So also the other thing you're doing, and we're going to talk about technology in that too, is you're running for what? What are you running for?
I'm running for re-election to the Vero Beach City Council.
Okay.
And tying these two things together, a little segue last night, I had an interview with the Treasure Code or the TC Palm editorial board, and it was all on essentially Zoom. It was a different type of Zoom, different different supplier, if you would, but it worked out really well. There were three of us on there. We can't have two standing or sitting city council people on the same thing, so they had to break us up into groups. But there were the three of us plus I think 5 members of their editorial board. Right. And it's the way of the future. It really is.
Right. So when it comes to like anybody running for something in the future for campaigning, I mean, obviously, digital way is the way to go, right? I mean, paper stuff, giving out, hand stuff.
My first go around, I didn't really pay that much attention to Facebook and that kind of thing. But this time around, there's just so many complex issues that are up there that you can't have an elevator 30-second pitch to really have people understand it. So you really need to give everybody the opportunity to look at the details, and then people can do it once you put out there on a Facebook or on a platform like that. People can look at it at their leisure, and you start to get questions from people and more detailed, more informative type questions.
Website, Facebook, I mean, LinkedIn, all these different platforms out there.
Yes.
I mean, even TikTok right now, that's a big platform. I mean, we noticed. I mean,
TikTok's the one that you have to talk to Beijing first, though.
We don't know about that, so nobody really knows. But
electronics is the other. There's two sides to it. I'll never forget.
Yes.
I used to fly overseas quite a bit, and I will never forget that at one point in time they always warned us if you were flying first class on Air France, you were probably being recorded somehow or other. So there's two sides to it, right, Jürgen?
Yeah, you never really know. I mean, with TikTok, I advertise with TikTok too, and actually working quite well. But we've seen in the industry, we've seen that TikTok is overtaking and already did overtake Facebook when it comes to videos
and people
incredible? Watching. Yeah, because you have to think about it is they are really working with psychologists and research and see what people want to watch. And the algorithm of, let's say, even YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, the technology is so smart. The artificial intelligence that works behind the system, it knows what you're watching, what you're looking at, how long. So if you swipe up and down, you liked it or you didn't like it. If you stay longer, it knows, this guy's watching this. Let's show more videos that are related to this. And it goes on and on and on. And I read that a long time ago.
There's no secrets anymore.
Yeah. I read that a long time ago is that, having this continuous stream where you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, that's psychologically for people that they just keep on going and going and going. You can't stop. It's more like almost like an addiction sometimes.
I think
you know?
the information,
Yeah.
yeah, it very definitely is. I find myself just in my little reading my emails, if you would, not emails, but the news, if you would. It just
Right.
kind of, because it's obviously that they're tracking what you're reading, and they give you more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like you're reading like a newspaper. You read
not
it
at
from
all.
front to end. It's over, and you throw it in the garbage, and that's it. But
Yeah.
nowadays, you just keep getting more and more
Yeah.
into pop-ups. You see another pop-up saying, "Hey, this sounds interesting. Let's read that." And
Yep.
now, before you know it, you spend 2 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
It happens to me sometimes too. I just get so sucked into a topic, and I just keep reading and reading, and look at the time. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's been an hour since I've been on this thing.
But I think my thumbs, I'm back to the prior time. My thumbs now are bothering me, and I think it's probably because of my Kindle and the way I hold my Kindle and
Oh,
the
okay.
phone. And,
Yeah.
and you see, the teenagers can do that. I can't
Oh
do it
yeah,
that fast.
it's a one hand thing.
Yeah.
You can always see them. The different ways of people using their phones. Some go like this, the hunt and peck
Yeah.
type thing,
Yeah.
and then some go one hand. And it's also obviously what kind of phone you have. If you have
Yeah.
the giant screens, then you can't use it with one hand. You got to use both hands.
Yeah.
But
But it's evolving, and the flip phone is kind of a joke, the flip phone. But I don't know, is that going to come back?
it did. It already came back.
It has, okay. I worried about
Galaxy,
that.
Samsung.
I can't pick on my older brother for having a flip phone still.
Yeah, Samsung just came out with a Galaxy Flip. Yeah, it's basically a screen that flips up just like an old flip phone,
Yeah.
and it's a seamless screen. I don't know how long it's going to last because it's a hinge.
Yeah.
It might break in half.
The connection.
Who knows? But
Yeah.
anyway, social media is definitely helping you in your campaign. So
Oh, yeah. No,
Great.
I appreciate it. Appreciate all the support and so forth. There's a lot of very key issues going on, and we just hopefully that come November that people will get out and vote. There's a lot of issues that are going to affect the future of Vero
Okay.
Beach here, and we've done a lot over the last couple of years that I've been on council, and I'm very optimistic about our future and the different activities, cleaning up the lagoon and that kind of thing. Knock on wood.
yeah, me too. Vero Beach is a beautiful place, and we got to keep it that way.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah.
it is expanding. It's not the small town anymore that it used to be. Everybody thinks it is.
Well, the Vero Beach itself is pretty much built out, the city itself, but the outlying county and getting up to Fellsmere and Sebastian, those guys are just going nuts. They've got a whole thing coming up with annexation of property and all that kind of stuff. It's just, and they're pushing out the urban service areas where they'll have water and sewer and that kind of stuff. No, there's Vero Beach. There's no secret about Vero Beach anymore. Not at all. When you were back, when did your family moved here?
1991.
Yeah. And I mean, I just imagine what that was like. And
We didn't have much, no. I
No.
mean, I lived in Sebastian most of the time, which was just basically a Walmart. That's all it was. Publix. But
and
anyway.
the agricultural community here has changed so much.
Right.
It started off as pineapple and then grapefruit and then orange, and now it's cattle.
Yeah, I remember when we had orange, the Hale Groves around. That was always
Yeah.
nice.
Huge.
You used to stop by all the time for free orange juice.
Oh, yeah.
Can't do
Your
that
kids
anymore.
did that? Oh,
I did
right.
all the time. But anyway, we're running out of time here. We got 50 seconds left. So,
Well, thank you for having me on, and
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate the opportunity to talk about some of the evolution of the IT activity and industry. It's in my career, I just found it absolutely fascinating.
Wonderful. And if people want to find out more about you, you got 30 seconds to say
Oh,
something.
Bob McCabe campaign.com.
Okay. Campaign.com. That's
Bob
simple.
McCabe campaign.com.
That's very simple. Wonderful.
I hope people will remember it. If not, I got signs out that we're putting out. You got one in front of your place, so
Yeah.
just to remind you, Bob McCabe.
Thank you. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. This was Tech Talk, episode 12. Like I said, next week we're going to have another guest on, and that's going to be Bill from Don's Import Auto Service. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.